Hi guys and gals, I'm Judy and you come here today because you're wanting to see some video on the weight loss surgery with a sleeve, and this one is a sleeve to sleeve revision. The reason I did the revision as a sleeve to sleeve revision was because I was not happy with the results with my first surgery. I had that one 7 years ago, and by the time the first year and a half came around, I'd lost all the weight I was going to lose and started gaining back. And I put back on 35 out of about 80 pounds that I originally lost. So I was never happy with the results. I never lost the feeling of being hungry, which was one of the reasons I did the surgery, was because I was told, oh, you won't be so hungry. And that wasn't the case. So the reason also that I decided to go back and see a surgeon, a different surgeon, for the revision was because I came across some friends of mine who had had the surgery by this particular doctor I then went to the second time. And they had tremendous success. And in fact, everyone that I knew that had gone to him had been tremendously successful. I went to one who advertised and on television with a lot of commercials and stuff. And it seemed like it was going to go the right way, but the follow-up is so tremendously important. Can't tell you how much. The surgery is important, to have it done correctly and to have it done well, but the follow-up is tremendously important. The mindset is another part that's tremendously important. So the first time when I went in, I wasn't really even sure which surgery I wanted. I was looking at lap band. But then I had several friends who had had lap band, and they had to have it removed after so many years because there's a lot of issues with that, and many doctors have quit doing that. So I chose this doctor to go to after my daughter insisted I should even try it again because I thought my time had passed. I had had my surgery, I'd lost some weight, gained some back, thought my time was gone, couldn't do it again. But she was going to him for weight loss, and I thought, well, I'll try. So I went, found out that was possible. Didn't even know if it was possible. And this is the reason that I am doing this video for you today, is because I searched around on YouTube and several other venues, could not find much other than from a doctor's point of view, the sleeve to sleeve revision or any other type revision. There are some, but definitely the sleeve to sleeve revision was what I wanted. I didn't want to go gastric bypass and didn't want to do the lap band, which might be a possibility, but I didn't want to go there. So I decided to go to her doctor, went there, found out it was possible. And then I've heard many people say, oh, it takes 6 months, it takes a year. Well, it really all depends on your insurance. If you have insurance, my daughter's self-pay, so she's got her financing for it and had it done after mine because I had a different insurance the first time I had the surgery. Then I came across being able to have the surgery. My insurance is different and it approved it within 2 weeks, where before I had to go through a 6-month program talking to a dietitian, psychologist, doctors, all this other stuff, and it took 6 months. So I guess that way is okay, but when you've got the mindset, hey, I'm ready to do this now, you want to go through with it. Another reason I'm doing this video is because I could not find people, particularly in my age necessarily. And I'm in my 60s. I'm not going to say how far, but I'm into my 60s. And I find a lot of young people, and I don't find much my age or even a little bit older. So I just want people to know that it's a possibility to get out there and get it done. And then to help you along because I couldn't find that help. So the format on this is going to be weight loss surgery before, weight loss surgery now. 2 different views of it. Same type of surgery, but different results. Very different results. And my purpose for the length is I don't like to go on and watch these 15, 20 minute long things of my surgery went this way and I had this issue and now this. I just strictly one versus the other and we'll go from there. I don't think I'm going to be doing a bunch of follow-ups. Maybe let you see later on. I may tag it on to the end of this as I progress in weight loss. I have lost between 40 and 50 pounds now since 2 months ago when I had the surgery. And I'm really counting the fact that when I went in, I weighed one weight. When I came out, 3.5 days later, I was 16 pounds heavier. And that was due to the IV. My doctor was very big on be hydrated, get very hydrated. The first time I went in, I spent the night, came home, and had lots of issues as a result. I could swallow better than I could the second time. The second time, there was some scar tissue stuff, I'm sure. Ended up with a hernia, so I had to have, and I said I wasn't going to go all this, but had to have hernia correction or hernia repair, and that caused some swelling that would not normally be there. So, but the first time, went in, spent the night, went home, bad experience altogether. I did become dehydrated within a few days, felt like I was dying, probably might have been, but the place I went did not recognize that I was dehydrated. I had several issues from the surgery. So, but like I said, I don't want to go through all of that kind of stuff. I just want to give you a one versus the other, not one experience of surgery versus the other, because that's so different for everybody. And then, as I said, many people say, oh, you got to go through the 6-month process. Oh, you have to go through so many weeks of weight loss, preparation, diet, and stuff. And that just really totally depends on your doctor and dietitian. So, because the first one, it was a 6-month process because of my insurance. And then there was, I don't recall if there was much of a diet beforehand, maybe 2 or 3 days, clear liquids before the surgery. And of course, they want you to shrink your liver because they've got to move that up out of the way to get to the stomach. This time was very different. So, but I did try to lose a few pounds before going in for the surgery. But then the day of the surgery, had it done, he tightened it up. Now versus the first time. First time when I had the surgery, I came home, I did my liquids the way I was supposed to. My doctor's version of how you do it back then compared to this doctor's version of how you do it now was you controlled your eating by eating with a little baby spoon. You took your bites on baby spoons. This doctor never went there, but he made sure that you had protein. I never heard of protein water necessarily. I don't go down the health food aisles too much. But the first doctor was just get those fluids in, and here's some water flavoring, drink the water flavoring in the water, and all this stuff. This doctor was drink the protein water. When you progress to full liquids, get the protein milk or whatever it is, soy milk or almond milk or whatever. And then the progression was very different this time compared to the first time. The first time was like 2 weeks on liquids and then dive right into your solids, but eat with a little baby spoon. So I was becoming dehydrated. I was becoming malnourished. Loss of hair, lots of other stuff. This time I haven't had that issue. Keep the proteins up really well and stuff. But it totally depends on your doctor. So, and on the dietitian, the program altogether. So kind of shop around, see what's out there, see what works for you, because what works for me won't necessarily work for you. So that said, let's go into a little bit about the differences, okay? There's a gauge that they use, and it's called a bougie. It comes in different sizes. So, and the weight or the size is called a French. So it goes from like a 60 French down to a 30, I believe, 30 or 32 French. I think this time my doctor used a very tight one because now I'm 2 months out from surgery. I am eating regular food and all I can get down is 3 bites at a time. I had to learn that because by the time I took 3.5 or 4 bites, I was sick. It just literally made me sick and it would just come right back up. The first time with my surgery, like I said, 2 weeks out, I was eating regular food, and I put it in a little small 2-ounce containers, and I could eat 2 ounces at a time. 3 bites is not 2 ounces. Big difference from then and now. And I felt hunger from about the second week after the surgery, the first time. This time I'm 2 months out. I still feel no hunger. I make myself eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. If I make a breakfast, scrambled egg, I can't eat the whole thing at one time. So I will put it aside, cover it, and I'll eat on it half the day. Usually it takes me at least half a day. If I make the breakfast at 8 in the morning, it may take me till 2 in the afternoon to finish that egg, which I think is tremendous. I think it's great because the weight is coming off. And eventually I will probably be able to eat a whole lot more. I don't want to go too much more, but you have to eat a certain amount of calories after you've had the surgery in order to lose weight. And if you go over that amount, and that depends on your body and on you and on your activity level. So if you go over that amount, you're going to gain the weight back. And then eventually you may be able just to eat like you used to eat. And that's not a good thing. You don't want to go back there. You don't want to go back to eating like you used to. That's what got you there. Sugars, get off of them. Carbonated drinks, don't want them. And a few things that I found with this surgery was that I lost my desire for coffee. I loved coffee. I don't like sugar. I can walk past pastries, candies, whatever. Don't care. I don't even look at it. Doesn't make me desire it whatsoever. So, and that's just 2 months out. So we'll see how it goes in a few more months. But I'm starting to get a little bit too long on this. I didn't want to go over 10 minutes. And because I want to keep your attention. Anything over, I'm going to lose you. So if you have any questions, just leave it down below in the comments. I will update from time to time and bring you some pictures of where I am now. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you some pictures of where I was at my highest. At my highest, I was over 200 pounds more than I am now. I lost 50 pounds of that before my first surgery and kept off, as I said, some of it. Now I'm on track to get down to the weight I'm supposed to be at. So we'll see where we go from there. So y'all take care. If you decide to go with this, go for it. In fact, I had to go for another procedure later on, and the technician we were talking about the weight loss, and she said, if you had to do it over again, would you do it again? I'm like, well, funny that you should ask, because I had to do it over again. I chose to do it over again, and I did. So if you're kind of up and down, you don't know if this is what you want, whatever, it's got to be your choice. You've got to have the right mindset for it, or it's not going to work either way. But if I had to do it a third time, I might, but I'm never going to get there again, I believe, because I think this time it's going to work. So, bye for now. Y'all take care and good luck.